Hey everyone, welcome back to the Shane Show. Today's episode, I'd like to talk a little bit about holotropic breathwork, what it is, and my experience recently with it. Let's dive in. Holotropic breathwork was founded by Stanislav Grof and his wife Christina. It's just a breath work where you use accelerated breathing to induce altered states or non-ordinary states of consciousness. Um, it's generally around 3 hours of breathing, and you have a sitter. So there's two people always paired up. One will go in the morning, one will go in the afternoon. And the job is just kind of to watch over you and make sure you're going to be okay. If you need some water, there's some like hand signals you can use. So your sitter, you can signal to your sitter so they can grab you water, go to the washroom, things like that. Um, Before actually engaging in the breath work, there's generally a share in the group. Groups can be upwards of 20 something people. I think in my group there was 17. We all go around to share a little bit about ourselves and an intention or a word that we have. So then we proceed with going through the breath work for 3 hours. And there's some also music that's played that kind of helps induce more of a non-ordinary state of consciousness. And it just helps take you on more of a journey. At least I found that was my experience. Uh, so then after that is the breathing is done. There's a mandala that you're able to draw after, and just to represent some of the unconscious aspects of your journey. And at the end of the breathwork circle, everyone gathers again and just shares a little bit about their experience. And nobody comments on their experience. Everyone just sits there and just witnesses and listens. There's no analyzation or any of that going on. And then they're allowed to share the mandala too at the end. So that's basically the whole process. It's really good for working with things like trauma and like repressed emotions from the past, things from childhood. Um, it's a really great modality for a whole bunch of different things. So I decided to take it just because I've been doing breath work in the past and I didn't find there was much integration in the breath work I was doing. And as I know, integration is a massive part of healing things, especially with psychedelics like ayahuasca. For instance, I had done that in the past and I didn't have integration. And I noticed that it just, it was just another experience because without the integration, I had nothing to basically put it all together and like make change in my life. So with the holotropic breath work, there's also a before call before you do the breath work and meet in person. And there's also a 2 days after an integration call to integrate your experience. It was extremely helpful for me. There were some patterns I noticed that I was playing out, especially in group dynamics, that I had not noticed before until this workshop. So I was able to kind of take that mask off and, like basically stop putting that mask on. Um, so, it was a great experience. I'm going to keep doing it once a month and just see where it takes me. And I really would encourage anyone on the healing journey or curious about the healing journey to look this up maybe and, dive in, grab some more information, see if it resonates with you. And it's a very powerful experience. It can also induce states of, it can induce a bit, kind of to an extent like psychedelic. It's kind of like psychedelics in a way if you breathe like hard enough and really, really activate your nervous system. Um, I personally didn't have that experience, but I know there's many people that have. It also doesn't come along with the crippling anxiety, at least for me, it doesn't. With like psychedelics have a tendency of doing, just kind of blasting you off into spaces where it can just be very like overwhelming. So I didn't find that with this because you have the control the entire time because it's you and just your breath. It's a very simple tool and you can slow it down, you can speed it up. It's you and your power essentially is how I see it. Um, so yeah, I'm still integrating my experience from it. And I've learned a lot just through journaling after and just speaking to the facilitator privately after. It's just really helped to integrate my experience. So yeah, I think that if you're, like I said before, if you're curious about breath work, this is probably, I would say, in my opinion, this is probably the deepest type of breathwork you can do, and especially because there's a group dynamics and processing can bring up a lot of triggers, a lot of emotional stuff that we didn't know was even there to begin with. So yeah, um, that's all I pretty much have to say about holotropic breathwork for now. I'm still kind of new to the whole paradigm, but I'm going to keep doing it, and I'll definitely be sure to keep everyone updated. Also, if you have any questions you'd like me to answer, I'd be happy to do that for you. Just let me know in the comments. Thanks. See you. We'll see you next week.